In today's program, the former police chief who allegedly tortured and killed a drug suspect has turned himself in. Meanwhile, the UK adds Thailand to its red list, which requires 10 days quarantine upon returning to the UK. And the Thai government is asking the opposition party to drop its plan to invite the public to vote on the Prime Minister's removal from office. Details on these stories coming right up. In our first story, Thitisan Utthanaphon, aka Joe Ferrari, the policeman who allegedly tortured and killed a drug suspect in Nakhon Sawan province, has surrendered late yesterday afternoon in Chon Buri. Police have revealed that they spoke to him a number of times before the former policeman eventually turned himself in at a Chon Buri police station around 4 p.m. yesterday. Speaking to Thai media over the phone during a media press conference last night, Thitisan Utthanaphon admitted to using plastic bags on the 24-year-old drug suspect, but denied he was trying to extort money from him. He offered a number of excuses for his behavior during a bizarre hour-long stage presentation flanked by senior Thai police. All the latest on this case will be published at thetiger.com. Packages containing around 1.2 million methamphetamine pills were found floating in rivers in the northern province of Chiang Rai. Apparently, the packages had been floating in the Mae Lao and Ing rivers for the past 3 days. Villagers reported the packages of drugs to police, and then narcotics suppression officers searched the area and found the huge quantity of methamphetamine pills. Officers suspect traffickers floated the packages down the river to avoid security forces along the natural border areas between Laos and Myanmar. Major drug production hubs are established in Myanmar's region in the Golden Triangle, where Thailand, Laos, and Myanmar intersect. Thailand is a major transit country in Southeast Asia's illicit drug trade. Authorities report that they have seized more than 300 million meth pills and nearly 20 tons of crystal meth in the first 7 months of this year. Meanwhile, police in the Isan province of Nakhon Phanom have seized 470 kilograms of compressed cannabis valued at around 10 million baht and arrested a 26-year-old man on drug charges. Officers stopped a Mitsubishi truck traveling from Ban Pang, a district along the Mekong River bordering Laos. They searched the vehicle and found 11 sacks with a total of 470 slabs of compressed cannabis. Each slab weighed 1 kilogram. The 26-year-old driver from Nakhon Ratchasima was arrested. He allegedly told police that he was paid 50,000 baht from a man in Bangkok to pick up the marijuana, which had been smuggled to Thailand from Laos. Bad news for British sandboxers on Phuket or elsewhere in Thailand, as well as anyone else planning to travel from Thailand to the UK, because Thailand is now being added to the UK's red list from next Monday. The British Department of Transport announced that Thailand joins Montenegro as the two latest additions to the UK government's red list. This means UK residents arriving home from Thailand will be subject to 10 days of mandatory hotel quarantine, while non-residents will not be permitted to travel. Thailand is being added to the list as a result of a low rate of COVID-19 vaccination, which the British government says leaves it at risk of new variants, which could then be imported into the UK. The move is another blow to Thailand's tourism hopes, making it very unlikely that any British holidaymakers will arrive in the near future. Of all the nationalities visiting Thailand at this stage, the British were just behind American arrivals. A government spokesperson has asked the opposition Pheu Thai party to drop its plan to invite the public to vote on the Prime Minister's removal from office. The opposition party is planning to ask the public to cast their votes online during and shortly after a no-confidence debate against Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha and 5 of his ministers, including the high-profile public health minister. The parliamentary debate is set to take place from August the 31st to September the 3rd, but a government spokesman says its purpose is to allow opposition parties to hold the administration to account, not to invite the public to vote against the government. Meanwhile, a spokesperson from the Prime Minister's office has condemned the language used by the Pheu Thai party in its criticism of the PM, accusing the party of a dirty trick campaign against the government. He says inviting the public to vote to remove the Prime Minister from office is one such example. But the Secretary General of the Pheu Thai party was unfazed, saying the opposition's allegation that the government is power-hungry and arrogant will be proven, citing its management of the COVID-19 pandemic and failures in vaccine procurement. He says the debate will lead to a new government and is calling on the public to vote to remove the Prime Minister at the same time as the vote is happening in Parliament. Over 4 million students between the ages of 12 and 18 will be inoculated with the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine from September. A spokesperson from the Education Ministry says officials will roll out 3 million doses of the vaccine, which arrive next month, and is seeking more doses to cover the 4 million young people. She expects the rollout to be completed within a month, just in time for schools reopening. 600,000 out of 900,000 teachers around the country have now been vaccinated. Currently, over 1.5 million Pfizer doses donated by the U.S. government are being administered to certain priority groups. The doses are being distributed by the Department of Disease Control, with fully vaccinated frontline healthcare workers prioritized for booster shots. In related news, the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration is visiting vulnerable groups at home in order to vaccinate them. The BMA recently launched an online booking system for people whose condition means they are unable to leave home. They've also launched a mobile vaccination van, which is visiting homes around Bangkok. And that wraps up the news we have for you to end the week, but we have plenty of content posted on our channel just about every day, including our other Monday to Friday news program, Good Morning Thailand, hosted by Tim and Jay. There's also Thaiger Bites, where we respond to viewer comments and feedback, and various other feature stories, and the occasional real estate virtual tour show hosted by yours truly. So plenty of reasons to subscribe and keep the notification bell on. Meanwhile, hope you have a wonderful weekend ahead as you're now up to date on the Thaiger.
It's time to join the conversation. Thaiger Talk is our forum where you can share your thoughts and comments about all the news stories, as well as just about anything happening in Thailand. Just scroll down under any Thaiger story, click on Thaiger Talk, register, and you're in. It's time to join Thailand's fastest growing forum. So jump in and be part of the Thaiger Talk conversation.